Hi everyone, this is Jane Hatch. Um, I'm back. I had a wild trip, 5 weeks. I've been gone from Santa Fe. I was on Cape Cod. And if anybody follows me on Facebook, you know that when I travel, it can be very challenging for as it is for any targeted individual. And if I'm off center in the least bit, it can be problematic. I did do a Facebook post about both. I think I did a Facebook post about leaving Santa Fe, what it was like with kind of gang stalking, seeing the black helicopters and attacks, directed energy weapons attacks, and on the way back it was the same but different. But the way back felt almost like a little bit of a curse, whereas this one was technological. On the way out was technological attacks, and the way back it almost seemed like it was kind of a curse. I got stuck in Denver airport overnight. Well, it's going to have to be overnight. Anyway, it's a long story. I made two Facebook posts. If you want to see them, and I'm going to turn one of them into a Substack. Just it's just my personal story, and I can share about MK Ultra and what it's like for targeted individuals. And honestly, I don't really go into half of it because it'd be another book, which I don't need to put on Facebook. I don't tell all the details, but some of the major gang stalking activities. And I had an issue with my cat, which was really unusual, but that got resolved. It felt more like a curse energy following me on the way back. Whereas the way out was technological attacks and on my heart. And what else? Yeah, there was we never know how much, like, they do change weather patterns to try to circumvent or hurt or displace targeted individuals. I mean, it's not beyond them. Absolutely. Do I think that the plane did not leave Denver to Santa Fe that night, Friday night, because of me? Probably not. But I know that they absolutely started a little kind of tornado-ish storm on Palm Beach one winter. No, it was October, when I was supposed to have a birthday party for my daughter Jenna at this beautiful cottage on the beach. And I could just tell because they especially like to target myself and my daughters, especially this daughter, my middle daughter. They want to turn all our positive to negative. And she was heartbroken because she really wanted to have her birthday at this house, which had been my uncle's cottage at Popham Beach. And it was just everything, all the lights went out, the roads were a mess. And it's a sense, I sense it was artificial weather, and it was induced. But people say, well, you're crazy, why are you that important? And that's one reason they keep people in the dark, targeting individuals included, like, well, I'm not that important. Well, you are. If you're targeting an individual, you're very, very important. You're important to the dark side because you challenge them. You challenge the New World Order. You challenge evil. You challenge Satanists. It's not like, Putin or, the other world leaders, because they're all part of the same things. It's us. We're the enemy. So yeah, they spend, $1 million to start a storm or whatever. They have trillions from stealing it from the World Trade Center and from child trafficking and drug trafficking. And it's endless. And they want to achieve the New World Order. They need to take out all the targeted individuals, who want to disable us. And we're targeted. It made me feel like very different circumstances, and a lot of target individuals are secret space program people, which I am, which we have psionic skills. But it may look disconnected, but it is the same puzzle, where we are the enemy of evil. Just like they went all out to crucify Christ or anyone, Tesla creates anything or has the potential to, they will take out, and money is not enough. So yes, I feel like they did change the weather. It was about 5 years ago at Palm Beach on October 20th. They did that to destroy the birthday because they especially want my daughter to associate me with trauma. And I've said this in many interviews and in my book, matricide is a big goal of the New World Order because you destroy culture, you destroy countries, you do families and tribes from the center out. If you can destroy the mother, essentially, then you can destroy a culture. They're sort of doing that now with the raping and pillaging of women in Europe. And, that's the beginning, but there's a really special focus on eliminating the loving mother because love often supersedes mind control. If you trust someone and you love them and they love you back, that is a powerful antidote to mind control. So they can't succeed. They've been trying with us for 40 years, but they'll keep doing it. Whenever I go to visit her or she visits me, or, and I went to Maine to see her, all these insane things happen. And it continues to happen, but it sort of goes over. We see it, but it's like it never stops us. So maybe someday they'll just, use their millions of dollars to, provide housing and food. Yeah, yeah, right. But anyway, so and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to all my new subscribers. I am, to my YouTube. I'm so grateful for all the people who have contacted me for remote viewing and healing. It's really excited. We got backed up a little and we had some problems with payments, but the same daughter I'm talking about, she's doing my website and she's streamlining the payment. And I'm sorry to those who've had problems, especially with PayPal. PayPal is not my friend. They try to sabotage me, believe it or not. But it's working, and I'm so thankful also to Emma of the Imagination podcast, and then Sean Atwood. His podcast in England has really catapulted my story to another level, and my new subscriptions and my clients and friends, people that are becoming friends, have come from originated from those two podcasts for the most part. So I wanted to do since January 1st a remote view on 2026. And what is it, like the 20th or 19th? It's like the 20th. No, it's the 19th. It's the 20th. It's the 20th. Yesterday was a holiday. Okay, it feels like Monday, but it's not. So I'm going to try that now. And I'm a little tired. I went through a lot traveling, went through a lot, my cat being gone, fighting back the images they were giving me about my cat. And I knew it wasn't true. But anyway, I had so much support from Facebook. Thank you, everybody from Facebook, if you're watching this. It's very powerful, not just for the cast, for me or for anyone who's had a lot of trauma to have, you feel people's love and it will sway you towards love and rather than towards the fear and the trauma and the shame and the guilt because you weren't there and you couldn't solve. So I really thank everybody on Facebook. And what's wrong? So I'm a little tired, but I've been wanting to do this forever. No, not forever, since January 1st, 2026. If you don't know me, my name is Jane Celia Hatch. I am a survivor of the secret space program and Operation Paperclip. And I'm a targeted individual. I'm a whistleblower journalist. I'm a natural healer. I'm a remote viewer. I use a lot of shamanic healing, which is an ancient technique of healing. And I'm a writer, a truth teller. Okay, and a survivor of family court. Of all the things I mentioned, that was the worst by far. Um, Rattle. What? What are the major upcoming events for 2026 that will affect humanity? I guess I especially do get America. Usually, you see American politicians. I'm in America. I'm in Mexico, not Mexico, New Mexico. So that is. I see Trump. So just so everyone knows, I have been in my life very, very left. Like you couldn't get more left, my 20s and 30s and 40s, you know, feminists, everything, everything. And I've also been right. I voted for Trump once. I've been independent. Now I see it's all a scam. Okay, so I'm neither. I'm neither and both, and they're all insane at the top, psychopaths. I will say that's sort of if I had a political position, is that they're all psychopaths at the top. And they only get there because they're, and that's another story. Okay, I'm gonna get that. Okay. The first thing I saw was Trump. I could tell this from the back. I could tell him was like the memes you see of him with the little curl, the hair, and then the suit, and he's cropping up something like on all fours, like he's some sort of insect or lizard. He's like crawling, crawling, crawling. It's like this man, like what's going on? It's like he's, oh my God, he's looking back, looking back. I've never seen him like this. I've seen a lot of remote views of Trump. One reason I know they're all working together, I have many reasons to know they're all working together, but remote view, I have seen them all sitting down together, working together. Kamala, Biden, Trump. Trump's sort of the leader in the last, 8 years. Um, and they're all working towards the new world order. But I've never seen him kind of desperate. But he's like, I don't know what he's climbing up the side of, whether it's a kind of a cliff, and he looks like an insectoid with four crawling. But I sort of see him as this insectoid, but I also see him with the suit. So they're showing me, like they may be showing me his soul energy right now has become very reptilian. Or again, I see there's many clones of him. I guess they're showing me this is yeah, he's climbing and he keeps looking back, like he doesn't want people to catch up with him right now. Like, don't catch up with me. Like he's been so calm, cool, and collected and full of himself and the leader of the pack, vroom vroom, super tough guy. We all saw the image of the flag and the blood and the blah blah blah. That was completely contrived because they work with images and symbols. And I even got to me, you're gonna cry. You see fighting for America, and the blood so that was him, but I don't like that's not it right now. He's really becoming primal and he's climbing and looking behind. Okay, what he's, I said, I asked, who is he running from? And it's the people, it's us. But he's so afraid we're catching on. Um, okay, for some reason I'm being shown the moon landing. Yeah, the 60s. Moon landing with quotes. So maybe I think because we all were told they were Mars. I personally at this point think they were in a TV studio. It's sort of sad that we were so naive back then that we believed like the president whoever could call Mars or call them back then, but now like what happened to that technology? You know, boom. It was probably, it was probably like a Barbie phone or something we were using, and the I just can't believe we thought that those were real astronaut. So I'm sorry for everything. Sorry for the world being alive. All the, so they're showing me Mars. Something about Mars. There's a race to Mars. We're already on Mars. There's colonies. I've been on Mars through the secret space program. So I don't know something about Mars. Something um it's always about natural resources, gold. Um, okay, I do sense like there's going to be, they're going to do everything they can do to us, destroy the planet, imprison us. And I do feel like they're going to try to, well, they don't have they can leave the planet anytime they want. They have, well, according to John Whitberg's testimony, who's a time traveler and a super soldier, the elites have homes at many different planets, beautiful places, some luxurious, beautiful planets. And I believe that Mars is mostly like German. Um, I know I was taken by the Nazis and I was used there, and I don't have all my images back, but this is something going on with Mars right now, and Trump and natural resources. And he's become like, and more like it's sort of like some reptilian insectoid climbing up the side of a hill, which again, I've never seen him in a position of running or scampering or crawling. He's always, but he is really afraid right now of us waking up, and that is really, really good news. They're not. He's not as cocky and confident. So there's a sense of scrambling to get out of here before we wake up. And I did see sort of the masses of people looking up and not worshiping, but like they're just looking at him, going like, what is going on? It isn't. I'm sure there is adoration of him still in some capacity, but I feel like the masses are shifting, and they're questioning, and they're looking at him, and he does not like that. They're waking up a little bit from mind control, and there's some people who are hardcore. They're just gonna, the more you show them, the more they're going to pledge their position as the one and only. But certain people are changing their opinion, as things get increasingly worse for us as far as food, housing, everything, especially personal freedoms, security, everything. We're becoming like I could go on forever. Not healthcare, medical care, dental care. We're becoming a third world country very, very quickly. Uh, so yeah, he's not delivering, and he just doesn't care anymore. But I think he thought he had time to get out before we woke up. So and right away they showed me him. They often show me him right away because he is if he's a groveling this people above, there's there's many ETs and the 13 families and that. There's many entities above him, but he's like the figurehead right now. And he seems all like alone. Um, I don't know what's happened to his kids, or maybe they're just showing me him. But okay, it's still on Trump. He's reached to the top of something. He's crossing a bridge. That might be metaphoric. A really high bridge, almost like a swaying bridge, but not. He's still alone. He's racing. He's still racing. And he's trying to get away. He's trying to cross into another territory. Uh, there's a lack of support, a lack of um, everything. Everything's gone. All the morality, all the dignity, all the facade. He seems to be quite alone. I don't see any of the politicians right now. So he's crossing over to another country or a plot of land. He's on a run. That is absolutely what I'm getting. What does that mean to us? I'm getting things have already been set in place. And that's why he's getting out, like all hell's gonna break loose, like certain triggers are set to go. I don't know what it means. I have a feeling it means power, triggers to go off. Like it's like there's a dead man switch, or maybe it's when he leaves Earth or he leaves the country or something. There's going to be kind of this network that was set up to bring us to a halt. He's getting out. Well, getting out is good. And it seems to be, I see like like a grid placed upon the earth, and different places are going to get different um, responses to this network that has been set up for the elite. Yeah, they're just getting everything, digital, like everything set up so that they can just get out of here and continue to make money and uh, destroy, kill us off. I think I'm a little worried about more vaccines and pandemics. I don't think they think that's going to happen. They're not going to get away with that again because so many people were awake, talking about it, resisting. Um, I'm astonished that everything we were saying at the beginning of the pandemic that no one believed, it's all over the internet now, left, right, center. The mask, everything. If you're holding out that the mask and the vaccine and everything was still good, you're really in a minority. Because I see that everybody is waking up to that was a complete shit show. Worse than that, it was a holocaust. Um, it either killed or disabled, maimed millions of people, and sadly, that's going to continue to unfold. I really highly recommend anyone who take a detox, to try to get it out of your system. I have full faith that the human body can regenerate if you have the right thoughts. Your thinking creates your reality, it creates your body, it creates. So you can regenerate with your thoughts. I learned that in Christian Science, but many other ways as well. That we are as we speak. Abracadabra means as I think and as I speak, I create. So this is, it feels like a pretty serious thing they're doing. Um, does feel like it's going to take people by shock. So, and I'm thinking the same thing. It's all about community now, and I've been saying that for years. Community, 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 not left, right, blah, blah. Like, who's your neighbor? Where's water? Where's food? What can we share? Because if things go down, you're not going to have the networking. Like, I feel like I have a really wonderful, huge network now. I mean, I do have it in person, but it's really online. And you got to think, what if that all disappeared and you still going to be at odds with your neighbor because they're, a Trump supporter or they supported Biden, what if, I mean, do you know that those people do not give a shit about you? They hate you. Trump hates you. He's a billionaire. He doesn't like peasants. He pretends because they know us so well. They just know how we want to be patted on the head and the steel workers. I'm gonna go down and shake their hands. And I'm not even singling out Trump. He's just like they're all the same. It's just like he's got the most audience right now, and like I do see there's going to be a new Earth, which is the old Earth, which people like I, myself, and many others were there. We knew there was a Garden of Eden, and there was billions of years of peace until we were invaded by these loonies, this other race, and they became our gods, and we worshiped them, and we're really the ones with the God DNA. They don't have it. And so there was billions of years of peace on this planet. This planet is billions of years, and we had peace for billions of years. So if you don't think we can have it again, you don't know the real history, which most people don't. But I remember in my bones a paradise earth, and I know other people do too. Something, or the Garden of Eden, whatever you want to call it. Legend has lived on in the Bible. I mean, truth has lived on as legend, not in our history books, which are completely controlled by the Dracos and all their slaves and allies, from the Vatican to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Royals. So we can create from this a new old earth. And, but it's not by trusting the plan. The plan is to destroy you. It's by becoming your God self, your complete, abundant, love-filled, power-filled human. As a human, you are God, but they've reduced you to slave through mind control and other means. So try to start breathing through your heart. What do how do I do this that she's talking about? And it's like a moment to moment, day to day. What do I choose to eat? Um, who do I speak to? How do I treat the people that come? How do I treat my neighbor? What are my thoughts when I'm watching news? Am I watching the news, which is all propaganda? Operation Mockingbird. It's been enacted for over 50 years in this country, and it's documented. It's documented from the Senate hearings, MK Ultra, the Senate hearings, and there's like thousands of pages of documentation that the CIA placed agents into journalism to sway the news, to block the news so that you're not getting news. You might get a little piece of it. Shut off the news. That's the first thing. Just every day, how could you fill yourself with herbs or food or sunlight, and especially thoughts? You can eat amazing, but if you're thinking bad thoughts, you're going to have the same result as if you were eating potato chips and hot dogs for the most part, because your mind is that powerful. And believe me, I'm not judging. I've done it myself for decades. Made wrong food choices, also my thoughts. Not always perfect. So I see rising up from that grid, the people that have reclaimed their God self and their connection to humanity, their connection to Mother Earth, protecting the children. Men need to be men. I know I sound like I'm from the 1950s. I'm not. We need males who are men, and we need females who are female. It doesn't mean transgender doesn't have a place, but it's very, very small. If you look at statistically speaking, transgenders are a very, very small part of our culture, and they have been historically. They have place. The native tribes use transgender to, call them twin souls, and they channel very high spiritual information, but they were not centered, they weren't centered to the tribe. Like the family, everyone protects the family in a normal culture. The warriors, the spiritual leaders, which would be the twin souls, the shamans. It should be all about keeping the family together instead of shattering it, which we're doing now. So we need men protecting the family. We need more men being men. I'm not going to go on about how I do that, but and I'm not transphobic or anything like that. I'm just saying, in a healthy culture, the nuclear family is centered. And even one of my daughters would argue that the nuclear family is the basis for the patriarch. But that's in a world that has gone completely insane. Because the family, in your family, you bring in your ancestors. It's like the source of joy. If you have, and the Dracos have tried to destroy the men on this planet, make them all abusive, and they've done a very good job. But it's not the men. I mean, they're born innocent like we are, but there's an agenda to make men very abusive, so women are abused. So somehow, I don't know how we're going to do it, and this is not meant to be a lecture. I'm just saying, to bring back the new earth, we need strong men. We need you to be protecting the children of your neighborhood. Even just start with your neighborhood. They're trafficking them. They're picking them up like they did me and thousands of millions. Watch the children. In your neighborhood. Don't believe lies about mothers. They create all these stories. That they're. Anyway, I'm going on ahead. Like, just like bring it back to your home, your heart, your home, your community, your village. Like, be men, be women. It's the joy of life. It's the charisma of life. Is that magnetism? It's what makes Mother Nature. We see that the opposites come together in nature, which creates life. So. And part of that is shut off the TV. That's all I'm going to say, because you have to shut off the TV. I do see a lot of the population, going the way they want, but there is a portion that remains to start developing. This entire system has to crash. Nothing's can be left standing because it's all corrupt, from the medical to the educational to the political. It's got to fall. We're at the end of an era. The Hopi says we're entering another era of peace. It's not going to be easy. I do see major earth changes on the East Coast. I've seen for years the middle of the country, like Mississippi River. I don't know. I guess it could be flooding. So as much as I hate to say this again, coastal areas, unless you feel like that's where you want to be, you don't have to be here for all of this. The disclosure movement is not going to be what I think a lot of people think it, disclosure of the secret space fund. It's just going to be part of our DNA. Like, all of a sudden, everyone's going to know. We've always known there's a secret space program, there's extraterrestrial. So we're just going to awaken to our own knowledge. I'm not sure there's going to be this big announcement about that there has been a secret space program, that there's over 1,000 ETs that U.S. military interacts with, according to eyewitness testimonies, it's going to be like we all become it. We become the knowledge, like the not like it's a hive mind thing that happens. We just everybody knows. And then it's like no big deal. It is a big deal and it isn't. The big deal is it makes all the leaders look like, insectoids, like little rodents compared to the bigger picture. It's like we're leaving, in kindergarten, you think like, Mr. Rogers is the biggest thing in the world or whatever. And all of a sudden you're walking out of kindergarten, you're like, what? It's like we're going to step out of kindergarten and see the entire universe. I think we're going to find sources of water and food from different vibration frequencies. It's not like we're going to have to all hang out at a well again. It's going to be, maybe I'm seeing like, not like out of the air, not necessarily rain, but we'll be able to absorb it better into our body. It's just like the universe will rally to us when we stop worshiping these morons and we get off our knees and become the God beings we are. The universe will respond in ways we did not expect, we did not exist, we did not exist. I see Hollywood is just like a total freak show, and they're falling apart too. They've been used and overused. They're it's like Ariana Grande. What a creature that's just so sad and pathetic, and all these women, they just become freaks. They're just freaks with Botox, and they're practically naked and netting, and they're emaciated. It's a freak show, and anything not based in love is I think it just seems like Rome, when it got so decadent, it just kind of dissolved. And I see that with Hollywood. And again, you don't have to be a psychic to know that, but that did just show up. So my voice, for some reason, is going. And that's probably enough for now. Again, thank you everybody for my new subscribers. If you are interested in a remote view, a shamanic healing, a Reiki healing, I'm going to put one of my emails below for the next week or so. I'm hoping at one point you can always email, but we're booking sessions through my website, Radiant Earth Mother. We're just having a little bit of issues setting up a payment, but you can email me anytime to request a one of the above. And please like, subscribe, comment, because that really helps the algorithm, and the people coming to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I know a whole bunch of people that watch my videos. I mean, they watch them one after another. They never comment. I mean, and you don't have to tell your life story, just put a heart, just put a like, or, whatever, just something. It kind of knows what you're doing, what you're thinking. It doesn't matter. Like, if you like one of my videos, they're not, they already know who you are from your DNA. So anyway, thank you all. Again, thank all my Facebook friends for supporting me with my and my daughters, of course, during the travels and with the town practices again. And it's been so much fun responding and meeting all these women from all over the world who are contacting me as a result of Emma and then Sean Atwood, and getting them seeing me, and I very small channel. Hopefully that'll grow. I am interested in interviewing SSP targeting survivors of family court. Um, you know, you know, I remind you. All right, love you guys.